Yes, you invested $600 into work boots, and yes, your job demands the absolute hardest environments, but just because you leave it all out there on the job site doesn't mean you have to carry all that dirt home. You put in hard work, now let's protect your investments. So stick around as I hand you years of professional leather care experience in under 10 minutes, so you can bring your boots from this to this, all within the convenience of your own garage. Your boots will thank you 20 years from now, so let's get to it. With rugged boots, we need rugged boot care. So today I'll be using Obenauf's Care Essentials for the job. Now, first and foremost, we need to get all of the dirt and dust off as much as possible. So we're using a horsehair brush, and think of this as the touchless clean on your truck before getting in there with a soapy sponge. If you start wet cleaning your truck right away, all that dirt and grime is just going to scratch your paint. So the same thing with the leather. Additionally, before all this, you can definitely stomp off as much dirt as possible outside before you brush. From there, you want to make sure you remove the laces so that you get the very best clean. Today, we're working with a pair of JK boots. These are heavy-duty, high-quality work boots, but whether you're rocking JKs, Red Wings, or Pacific Northwest loggers, the enemy is the same: dirt and mud. With these types of boots, you really want to ensure to remove the laces and the false tongue or kiltie, because dirt can really hide behind there. So be as thorough as possible, and your boots, again, will thank you 20 years from now. See what I mean? Look how much dirt is trapped in there, and that'll lead to your boots prematurely cracking and breaking down before their time. As I always say, sometimes you have to get dirty before you can get clean. So let's brush all of that dirt out and get ready for our next step. From there, now it's time for the wet clean. This is really going to further remove that built up dirt within the leather's fibers and help maintain your leather's integrity over time. Now, I'm not going to be unrealistic. These are work boots, not Air Jordans that you need to keep in a trophy box. These were meant to get dirty and meant to be beaten up, but all the more important to keep them clean and conditioned. My point here is that you don't have to be perfect. It's all about that routine and treating your boots like they matter, because they do. But no one works harder than your boots except you, so this is why you want to treat them well. Now, when it comes to cleaning, you definitely don't want to skimp on cleaning the boot tongue with those creases and crevices. That's where a lot of the dirt hides, as well as the welt stitching near the soles. Now, what I love about rough out suede is that it can take a beating and you really won't see a scratch on it. Unlike smooth leather, there's really not a lot of scuffs or marks because the texture is just so durable. It's ideal for a work boot, though the fibers can attract a lot of dirt over time, and that's why cleaning is so vital. Now, I found that on these boots, they were particularly dirty near the welt stitching, and that is completely normal simply because that's where your boot is going to be closest to the ground, as well as that these types of crevices tend to often get overlooked. So definitely don't skip this part. If dirt starts to eat away at this area, you can definitely expect your soles to be one of the first things to go. So be thorough and clean well. Alright guys, be honest. Do you hose down your muddy boots just to clean them off? Yeah, you need to stop that right away. When it comes to leather, the last thing that you want to do is soak them, because this is going to zap all of those needed oils that keep your boots from bending and flexing well, and it'll eventually lead your boots to crack. Now, I'm not saying that you can't hose off your treads, definitely feel free to do that, but when it comes to the leather uppers, keep those free from soaking up any water. And really, there's no reason to soak your leather. That's not to say that it can't get wet. It can definitely do that, but you don't need to drench it unnecessarily. So just keep that in mind when you're on the job or when you're using a cleaner like this. Now for the kiltie or false tongue, we're going to be doing that same process, just brushing off the dirt, wiping it down with cleaner, and then conditioning it. Kilties are really important because they take the brunt of the friction of how tying your laces can really eat into your boot tongue over the years. Additionally, that false tongue or kiltie is sitting in front of your real boot tongue, and that keeps a lot of the excess dirt and debris away from getting inside your boots. So that's a huge win. Now, a lot of people have been asking me, how often should I clean and condition my boots? And unfortunately, there is no perfect answer to this. It really all just depends on how often and what environments you wear your boots in. If you wear your boots every day, which you probably shouldn't, you should probably switch them out every other day if you can afford to buy 2 pairs. But let's say you wear them in 150 degree Fahrenheit weather. digging trenches and pouring concrete. Yeah, you should probably at least brush them off daily and a more thorough clean as soon as every week. And if you wear them once a week, let's say on concrete and aren't ever near dirt, yeah, you can probably go 6 months without conditioning those bad boys. So it really just all depends. Now onto the laces. It's really easy, guys. All you have to do is spray some cleaner on them, agitate them a little bit, and then run them through a rag until they're dry. Repeat as necessary. We really don't need to make this complicated. Now for me in California, it gets pretty hot here, so I usually go with the Obenauf's leather oil over the Obenauf's LP. Obenauf's LP is awesome for outdoor use, especially when protecting your leather against rain or water, but California doesn't really know what water is, so I'll be using leather oil today. Personally, I apply as much oil as my leather will accept. And here's the most important thing, and I actually learned this from Tim over at JK Boots. You never want to apply oil to the eyelets or the welt, because what'll happen is that over time you pull on those eyelets with your laces, and eventually that oil softens it up over time and those eyelets just pop right out. So you can lightly condition them, but definitely don't over apply any oil. Same thing with the welt. There are glue adhesives that keep that sole together, and that oil is just going to eat away at them over time. So make sure you don't apply too much and just keep that into consideration. Now, another thing to address is that a lot of people don't realize that you can apply leather oil to suede or rough out. And yes, oil is going to darken your leather, but this type of leather, rough out in particular, absolutely loves oil. It keeps it super hydrated for harsh, hot environments. Now, again, these are not collectible sneakers. These are work boots. So you may like the look of them, but in all reality, their purpose is not the look. It's to keep you safe and working hard. So just keep that in mind, that your leather will be darkened at first, but it's going to dry up to a lighter color as you wear your boots over the months. If your boots visibly have dirt or debris on them, stop being lazy. Just grab your horsehair brush and give them a good brush down before you end the day. And if you're noticing that your boots are getting lighter in color and seem dry to the touch, maybe they're getting stiff, it's probably time to condition them. But if they're still really soft, malleable, and flexible with no issues, honestly, you should just be fine. But you'll never go wrong just applying a little bit of conditioner if you want, so don't be afraid to do that. A little can go a long way. Just note that it's better to over-condition than under-condition. That's just how I take it. You can't bring back broken leather fibers from dryness, but at least your leather conditioner can preserve your leather with conditioning. Always wipe off the excess of your leather after conditioning, because if you don't, it will attract dirt. But yeah, those are the best tips I can give you. Now, when it comes to curbing odor and keeping creases away, as well as maintaining the shape of your boot, definitely get yourself some cedar boot trees. Won't go into much depth there. They're pretty self-explanatory. But guys, remember that every product that I've recommended is definitely going to be in the affiliate links in the description below. Don't forget to check those out. All right, we are almost done here. We're just going to lace these boots back up and give them one last quick brush down to disperse all of those oils and then let it dry. But before we end, hit that like and subscribe button. Drop a comment below on what your boot care routine looks like and how long you have owned your boots for. I know we all take pride in that. Let us know in the comments below. Now for the before and after. So much for watching. I know we cleaned work boots today, but what about those suede sneakers you've neglected for years? Watch my viral waterless suede cleaning video next, and I'll see you over there. Remember to love your leather.